Right, the big story at this hour, the Maha Vikas Aghadi government is in flux once again. The Uddhav Thackeray-led state government in Maharashtra seems to be in trouble after one of its ministers, Eknath Shinde, along with supposedly 35 MLAs have gone missing in action. In a major set of developments, sources say Eknath Shinde and Uddhav Thackeray had a 20-minute phone call today. Eknath Shinde is believed to be in neighbouring Gujarat, which is a BJP-ruled state, at a hotel in Surat. The call saw Shinde allegedly ask that the Shiv Sena return to the BJP fold. Meanwhile, the Shiv Sena has also sacked Shinde as its legislative party leader and appointed a replacement. Meanwhile, Shinde put out a cryptic tweet earlier today that kept his political rivals guessing, saying he's a true Shiv Sainik and won't betray trust for power. Meanwhile, two Shiv Sena leaders met the rebel at a hotel in Surat, but there has been no breakthrough yet. Even as we speak, there's a hectic sense of parleys going on, meetings going on within the different camps, with the Maha Vikas Aghadi trying to keep its flock together. Listen in to some of the reactions that have come through the day.
ये तो मैं आपसे ही सुनता हूँ, ठीक है। अभी तक उन्होंने हमें या और किसी को कहा है कि मुझे सीएम बनाओ, ये मुझे मालूम नहीं। मगर एक बात है कि वहाँ जो अंडरस्टैंडिंग है तीनों पार्टी में, इसमें शिवसेना के पास मुख्यमंत्री की जिम्मेदारी है, डिप्टी सीएम एनसीबी के पास है, और इन्फॉर्मेशन बाकी जो मंत्रालय है इसकी जिम्मेदारी सरकार के कांग्रेस के ऊपर है। जहाँ तक बीजेपी में कुछ बदलाव करना या किसी को वहाँ मौका देना, वो उनका इंटरनल इशू है।
एकनाथ शिंदे जी ने नॉट रीचेबल होना, इस विषय पर कुछ कहना ये थोड़ा प्री मैच्योर होगा, थोड़ा समय जाना पड़ेगा ऐसा मुझे लगता है। हम उसको बहुत बारकाई से उसको ऑब्जर्व कर रहे हैं।
शिवसेना के नेता भाजपा पे आरोप लगा रहा है कि बीजेपी ही करवा रही है, इसलिए गुजरात जाया गया है।
तो मैंने जैसे नाना पटोले जी के केंद्र का हस्तक्षेप विधान परिषद में इस पर बोला था कि हारने के बाद एक स्क्रिप्ट तैयार करनी पड़ती है, वो नाना पटोले ने पहले से बनाई। वैसे अभी ये जो बगावत हुई है उसकी स्क्रिप्ट संजय राउत लिख रहे हैं।
I am worried about what is happening in my party, and therefore we are meeting the legislative parties meeting right now to examine what happened, to inquire into what happened. It is very sad that a Dalit leader for the party had to lose, and particularly High Commanders directed that he be given the seat as the first preference. He was given the first preference, but he still lost. It's very unfortunate and sad.
पार्टी ने हमको क्या कुछ नहीं दिया, ये भी सोचना चाहिए।
बात आंकड़ों की आ जाती है। आपने कहा कि वहां बताया जा रहा है कि 16 विधायक है, तो आपको क्या जानकारी मिल रही है, और क्या बाकी सेना के विधायक जैसे आपने कहा संपर्क में है, तो क्या उनके घर वापसी की उम्मीद है आपके जहन में?
डेफिनेटली जब ये मुंबई में लौट आएंगे तो सबसे पहले शिवसेना भवन में जाएंगे। आप देखिए,
तो आगे जो आगे का खेल बताया जा रहा है कि फ्लोर ऑफ द हाउस में क्या आप अपनी मेजॉरिटी सिद्ध कर पाएंगे?
मौका मिले तो हम जरूर करेंगे। हमारे पास पूरा बहुमत है तीन पार्टी के पास। आज भी कांग्रेस हो, एनसीपी हो या शिवसेना हो, सभी वरिष्ठ नेता एक दूसरे के साथ संपर्क में है, और अगर बीजेपी चाहती है विश्वासदर्शक ठहराव पे वोटिंग हो तो हम उसके लिए तैयार है।
एकनाथ शिंदे जी के वापसी के डोर काटे हैं या ऐसा कुछ हम नहीं कह सकते, क्योंकि अभी भी शिवसेना ने 2 लोग वहां पर भेजे हैं, बात हो रही है, तो आप क्या उनको यहां इस माध्यम से कुछ कहना चाहेंगे?
मैं इतना ही कहूंगा, भाई आप घर वापस आइए, गिले शिव के दूर हो जाएंगे। पार्टी आपकी है, हम सबकी है। हमने भी पार्टी के लिए सबने खून पसीना बहाया बाला साहब के साथ, उद्धव जी के साथ। छोटी मोटी बातें घर में होती है,
और आपकी उम्मीद कायम है कि वो आएंगे?
मुझे लगता है जिस प्रकार से हमारा रिश्ता है पार्टी में एक दूसरे के साथ, वो भी शिवसेना के सिवाय नहीं रह सकते। आएंगे।
All right, so what could happen next? Rohit Chandavarkar, senior journalist, joins us on the show. I'm speaking with Tejas Mehta, political analyst, and Smita Gupta, senior journalist, as we try and make sense of all of the developments of the day. Welcome to all of you. Glad to speak with you on the India development debate. Rohit, is the Uddhav Thackeray government in real danger? And I ask this because if 35 MLAs have effectively decamped, then why has the BJP not yet called for a vote of no confidence or a floor test on the floor of the House? That's the real test, isn't it?
Great question. I'll start with this figure that you quoted. The answer to your question is a little complicated. There is no yes or no to it. But the figure that you quoted is 35, right? 35 MLAs are supposed to be with Eknath Shinde. I don't know who has floated this figure. All types of figures are getting floated since morning. When we started in the morning, we woke up to this breaking news. The figure was 13. And as the day progressed, thanks to media, national media, OTT platforms and all of that, it has risen to 35. The crucial question, Tamanna, right now is what is the exact figure? And the answer to your question, why is the BJP not advancing with this? Why do you see Chandrakant Patil, BJP state president in Maharashtra, being so cautious? Is because even he or Devendra Fadnavis are not sure about what that exact figure is. We have seen this kind of drama earlier in Maharashtra in 2019 when there was a kind of revolt by some of the NCP MLAs, if you want to call it revolt. Nobody's sure what it was, but there was a early morning swearing in that happened, and then the MLAs backtracked, including their leader Sharad Pawar, and the whole situation changed. I don't exactly know how many MLAs are there with Eknath Shinde right now,
Right.
and that is the crucial question. If he has enough MLAs, and there are some indication that he has some MLAs, then I would say Maharashtra government is in danger. And the next step will be BJP will ask for a floor test in the assembly, and they might, win it or whatever. But if he does not have those MLAs and nobody knows the answer to how many he has, maybe 21, 24, whatever it is, then it will be a crucial thing because the voting in the assembly will be held under an NCP deputy speaker, and we know how things work. One of the things BJP is likely to do is they might go to the governor in the coming days and say that they want a floor test. But all of that depends on how many MLAs exactly Shinde, Eknath Shinde has. And that answer we don't know right now. But I can to sum it, I can just say that this is the biggest challenge that Uddhav Thackeray government, the 2.5 year Maharashtra Vikas Aghadi government is facing right now in their tenure. And they might not survive this challenge. Those are some of the indications that we are getting.
Okay. So those two key takeaways, and you're right, Rohit, about the numbers. And we've been saying that it could be 12, it could be 18, it could be 22. There was a list that came out on the day. It could be 35, 37, depends on who you believe. But what matters is, do these MLAs turn up, and which way do they vote when there's actually a floor test? That's the real test. Everything else is just talk. But 2 points that Rohit Chandavarkar made, and Tejas, I want you to come in on this. This is Uddhav Thackeray's biggest test that he may not survive. What is different this time round?
Well, I certainly do believe that when it happened the first time around, it was just soon after the election, so a short time had passed, and therefore they were able to cobble up this MVA alliance, the Aghadi government. But the BJP has, of course, always felt that the vote has gone to them, and it has gone to the Shiv Sena and the BJP together, and therefore, this tutu mame, we have been seeing it going on between the Shiv Sena and the BJP for the longest time. But, while, of course, we all do believe that the BJP is somewhere, of course, definitely involved, there are all indications. The fact that they're in Surat is the biggest giveaway. But, there are many other, questions which are being raised by the Congress and the NCP, which I am picking up. And one thing I have heard repeatedly is that they are not ruling out if, there are some other hands at play here. Look at this, that let's take this number 20, 30, 20 to 30, anywhere between that. So many MLAs, so many leaders, ministers leaving Mumbai, reaching Surat, nobody knows about it. Is that really possible? No MLA, no other, Shiv Sainiks, no police, no PAs, nobody is leaking any information. Only in the morning you get to know. Next, you are seeing that they are landing up in Surat, and you have a very strange demand coming that, let's break up the MVA because we are committed to Hindutva. I mean, it's not about a post, it's not about anything. It's about breaking up a party itself. And last question, I know Eknath Shinde is a senior leader, but can he really, Rohit also can help us answer this question. Does he really have that sort of, mass leadership, especially in the Shiv Sena, which has 55, 56 MLAs now, to have, at least half the party with him? I am very, very unsure about that. And therefore, there are many who believe that actually the Shiv Sena officially is behind this also, in a way, because they can get rid of both the NCP and the Congress, because what's going to happen in the next elections? 2.5 years have already gone. Then NCP, Sharad Pawar still be in active politics. What influence will Ajit Pawar have by then? Supriya is there. What role will she play? And the Congress isn't really in the strongest this thing. And then I'm going to go with the BJP. So the question really is, can the Shiv Sena come back in the next election? I think they would be worried about that. And therefore, the murmurs coming from within the Congress and the NCP is exactly this, that they are questioning, in fact, that is, Uddhav, the BJP, are they coming together? Is there a ghar wapsi of the Shiv Sena really happening with the NDA?
The thing about
That's
Indian
a point.
politics is that it surpasses the imagination of even the most creative scriptwriter. You're now talking about an Inception-style conspiracy theory, loops within the loops. I started this show talking about the political flexibility of netas that we should talk about on Yoga Day. But Smita Gupta, having said all of that, even if we look at that conspiracy theory seriously, why would Uddhav Thackeray want a loss of face in the middle of his term? For him, this is personal, isn't it? For Devendra Fadnavis, this is personal.
Well, logic would dictate that Uddhav Thackeray would not want a loss of face with, half his party walking off. But as the previous speaker said, politics, after covering it for 40 years, anything is possible, I would say. So I'm not going to, and he possibly knows much more than me being in Mumbai. But we could see that there was trouble in the Maha Vikas Aghadi. You saw the Rajya Sabha polls that took place recently, in which the Shiv Sena lost a seat to the BJP, a seat that it had counted on. In the local polls also, there were some accidents, which was a result of cross-voting. So all is not well with the Maha Vikas Aghadi, that is for sure. Secondly, within the Shiv Sena, there is talk that Sanjay Raut has been given a kind of leeway, which has not been appreciated by other people. There is talk also that Uddhav Thackeray has left a lot to his son Aditya Thackeray. So there are all kinds of things which are happening within the Sena. The other thing is that during this period of the Aghadi government, the Shiv Sena, which was seen as a Hindutva party, along with the BJP, which was its partner, for a while shelved all those Hindutva issues. At least in the public space, they never spoke about it. But if you notice, recently, I think Uddhav Thackeray made a visit to Ayodhya. Suddenly after, that was a bit of a surprise that, it's like, burnishing his Hindutva credentials once again. So there's obviously a lot of things at play that we cannot see. Another issue that the previous speaker mentioned, which is quite interesting, which he talked about, how did all these people go off to Surat without anyone in the government knowing? What was the Home Minister doing? So there are many unanswered questions. There are these three parties. But finally, everything will be decided, as the first speaker said, on how many people are actually there with Eknath Shinde. Number one, if it comes to a floor test, where will these 29 MLAs who belong to smaller parties and independents, where will they vote? Will the Shiv Sena, this Aghadi government manage to muster all 29?
Right.
Or it will split?
Okay, Rohit, just your comment on this conspiracy theory and the question of, is Eknath Shinde such a powerful leader that he can command the following of 20, 25, 30, whatever that number is, MLAs? And second, how did they all, move to Surat without anyone noticing? I mean, all of these MLAs have been under guard for the last few days because of the MLC elections, before that the Rajya Sabha elections. We are now hearing that the ones who are in Mumbai will again be deposited safely in a hotel in the city. So how exactly did they leave without anyone knowing?
Yeah, very interesting points made by Tejas. I had not thought of this, 2 or 3 things that he said. I started scratching my head, in fact. The thing is, all these, keeping these MLAs inside 5-star hotels before the Rajya Sabha polls or before the council polls that happened yesterday has obviously not worked in the digital age. Obviously, they have been in touch with, somebody from BJP through WhatsApp or whatever. And Shiv Sena had to lose 1 seat in the Rajya Sabha polls, and Congress had to lose 1 seat in the council polls, which we saw yesterday. So obviously, there are cracks in this 3-party alliance that we have in power in Maharashtra last 2.5 years. And the perception created by BJP right now is that, the government is just not working, and there are many things that are pending, and they're not getting along with each other, etc. I think the other point that Tejas made about Shiv Sena conspiring this may not be really, true, because I have seen Shiv Sainiks and their leaders and everybody getting very aggressive, genuinely, and very angry with BJP over the 2017 Mumbai Municipal Corporation polls, in which Shiv Sena started getting a feeling that BJP is entering their space, their turf. And that's where the split started. So you might have seen the split in 2019, where Shiv Sena took a call and went with NCP, but it started in 2017 itself, and it is very genuine. The feeling that Uddhav has that BJP has used Shiv Sena and now is cornering and taking their space has kind of pushed him to the corner, and he's really wild about the whole thing. And I don't think what he's doing right now is not genuine. Coming to Eknath Shinde, I think Eknath Shinde got marginalized mainly because Aditya Thackeray getting too powerful, and history repeats itself, Tamanna. Exactly the same thing happened in 2005 when Bala Saheb chose Uddhav to be his, natural heir to speak. And Narayan Rane got a feeling that he was actually number 2 in Sena, and he walked out of the Sena, or he was actually technically thrown out, but he decided to go and join the Congress party. So this is happening in the Shiv Sena again and again. 2005, Narayan Rane walked out. 2022, we see Eknath Shinde, one of the most powerful Shiv Sena leaders, almost number 2, number 3 position person from Thane, a very target-rich area for Shiv Sena, bastion, second bastion for Shiv Sena, walking away. Your viewers would be really interested, I think, in figuring out what's going to happen out of this. One thing I can bet on is I don't think Eknath Shinde is going to return to Shiv Sena. Shiv Sena also doesn't have that culture of, welcoming back people who have left or giving them some conditions or whatever. I think BJP is going to wait and watch. And I think this might, if not now, eventually in the next few months, for the investors, for the analysts, for the observers, my prediction is Uddhav Thackeray government's days in Maharashtra are numbered. You can take it from me. I mean, that's what.
Why is that, Rohit? Why is that? Why is that? Why will this strange combination, which lasted a good 2.5 years through COVID-19 and everything, why won't it last further?
Good question. I think, there is a lot of resentment building among Shiv Sena MLAs, mainly because of Uddhav Thackeray's nature. Uddhav Thackeray is a very introvert kind of a person. He's hardly seen in the Mantralaya. In the last 2 or 3 years, he has never visited Chief Minister's office in Mantralaya. Biggest complaint, apart from him promoting Aditya Thackeray way forward others, is that Uddhav Thackeray is not accessible to even MLAs. I'm hearing murmurs within NCP that Uddhav Thackeray did not take some of the phone calls that Sharad Pawar made him in the last 1 or 2 months. He's not even taking Sharad Pawar's phone calls. He's acting, very pricey, maybe whatever you want to call it. But it is his nature. He's not a people's person. That is the perception that is coming out right now. And the resentment among the MLAs is kind of seen in either council elections or Rajya Sabha elections or whatever. And you have to keep, Uddhav Thackeray has to keep his MLAs in a 5-star hotel so that they don't defect or whatever. We are living in an age of hawala transactions and digital communication and, all these things. How can you ensure that the MLAs in a secret ballot will vote for you just because physically you're controlling them inside a 5-star hotel? So I think they've seen what happened yesterday in the council polls. This resentment among the MLAs of the CM not being accessible, etc., will grow once they see that there is some leader like Eknath Shinde leading the way, and there is one option that is emerging, and a strong driver like BJP, who's driving all this. There is no doubt about it that BJP is driving this, and they have examples of Madhya Pradesh and other states.
Okay, so let's see how the story plays out. I end with the first question I started. If the BJP, Eknath Shinde, etc. are confident of the numbers, where is the demand for a floor test? Because that's where the entire story will actually reach its logical conclusion. The rest is all talk. Thank you so much to all of you for joining us on the big political story of the day. But, that's not the only